In this lesson, we're going to take a tour around the rest of Live's interface, and I promise we'll return to making some music really soon. We've already looked at the help view, the browser, and the session view, and we had a super brief glimpse at the arrangement view. Let's start with the menus: Live, File, Edit, Create, View, Options, and Help. On Mac OS, we have the usual application named Menu. Here we can do the usual Mac things, and most importantly, access the preferences. On Windows, you'll find the preferences in the Options menu. And remember, if you're on Windows, nearly all the key commands are identical, except you would hold down Control instead of Command. And Alt and Option mean the same thing, whether you're on Mac or Windows, and especially in this case when we're using Live. Over here in the File menu, we see the usual things for opening, saving, and also exporting. Notice that there's no Close Set option, since Live always has a set open, and you can either open another set or quit Live to close a set. We'll go into saving in detail in the next lesson, and exporting towards the end of the course. The Edit menu is full of useful commands, including the expected cut, copy, paste, duplicate, delete, and some others we've covered in the previous lesson. Notice the key commands here. Some of them are single key commands, which is really nice, but also be mindful about accidentally hitting them. Create is where you tell Live to make something new for you, whether a new track or scene, as we did in the last lesson, but also some other useful functions. The View menu is simply about what you want to see or not see, and you can show and hide the different elements of the interface from this menu. Notice how the key commands are really logically laid out, and you can also use these little triangles and circles in the corners of the interface to show and hide things. We'll explore some of the commands in the Options menu when we get to relevant lessons. The Help menu we've already covered in a previous lesson. The Context menu was used a bit in previous lessons, but it is worth taking a minute to talk about, since the Context menu shows you different options depending on where you right-click. If on a Mac and you're not sure how to right-click with your trackpad or your fancy Mac mouse, you can always just hold down Control while you click, or also make sure to check out the Mac OS mouse or trackpad options in the System Preferences from the Apple menu. When you right-click, sometimes you'll see a lot of options, sometimes you won't, and sometimes you'll see commands that are in the menus, and sometimes you won't. For this course, we're not using any of the commands that are not found in the primary menus. Across the top, we have the control bar, and this is always visible. We're not going to use all of the controls found here in this course. We'll cover each one as we need it, but let's take a quick orienting tour now. And also make sure to use the info view in the bottom left here when you mouse over each element. Over here on the left, we find all of the controls related to timing and tempo. To change the tempo for your entire live set, you can click and drag up and down, or click and then type a value. We looked briefly at the quantization menu in the previous lesson. In the middle, we have a few sections. All of them are related to playback, automation, recording, and also for looping when you're in the arrangement view. Over here on the right, we have controls related to MIDI editing, mapping, CPU, and the audio engine. The bottom pane at the interface is known as the detail view. This view shows you either the clip view or the device view. Shift plus Tab will toggle between these views, just as Tab toggles between the session view and the arrangement view. The clip view shows you all of the details for audio or MIDI clips. And the device view is where you see any audio or MIDI effects and any virtual instruments that generate sounds. We are definitely going to take a deeper look at the clip view a few lessons from now, and we'll get you started with the device view too. The mixer is for controlling all of our signals. We can see the mixer here at the bottom of the session view and over on the right when we're in the arrangement view. We do have a full lesson coming up on the mixer and its related views right after the following lesson. So let's learn how to properly save our projects right now.